Listen up, all fight fans and fitness junkies. You've been listening to me talk about Jocko Fuel for a while now, and if you've been waiting, the wait is over. This August, you can score a massive 30% off on all of Jocko Fuel's top-tier supplements. That's right, 30% off. Jocko Fuel is loaded with all of the good stuff and none of the bad. We're talking no added sugar, no artificial sweeteners, and absolutely no gray area or banned substances. Just pure, clean fuel to power your performances. And guys, I really want you to try some of my favorites like Jocko Go and Jocko Hydrate. This deal is only going to be available for the month of August. So use code Chael30 or go to JockoFuel.com. Don't wait. Fuel up with Jocko Fuel and crush your goals. Guys, click on the link below to make it happen. Noche in the books. And hey, forever? Is it forever? I don't think so. I believe that is just the steer. And everybody's got the right to change their mind. But what an epic event. And I really feel that I can sum it up. Generally on a night like this, I would bring you a recap of each fight. But I don't know if I've got enough to do that, quite frankly. The star of the night was the venue. And that is not meant as an insult to any of the athletes who came out there and delivered. This was just an epic production from a standpoint that people that live in Hollywood and people that make movies and do it for a living. And to make a movie, will spend 3 months on set with a budget that continually moves and headaches and conflicts and speed bumps they've constantly got to overcome. That's just simply the business. And these people did not believe that Dana White could pull this off. It makes me very proud. I've got to tell you. People that are saying that do this for a living and look at a guy saying, you're a fight promoter. This is not your business. You have no business even trying to pull this off, let alone are you going to have success. That ended up being the star of the night. And if I can tell you about the fights in a brief manner, on Lopez Ortega, there is a little bit from me of, I told you so. Now, Ortega didn't win the fight, but that was never my overwhelming theme. My overwhelming theme is when Lopez moved from a 2-1 favorite to a 2.5-1 favorite because Ortega missed weight and there was a belief that something was awry. Something with Ortega's focus and discipline was off. Frankly, I don't know what happened there. Ortega is always fairly closed-mouthed. He never claimed injury and he never claimed illness. Even behind the scenes, his managers kind of just spoke to, look, we ran out of time. We took it on short notice and it turns out he's bigger than we knew. It seemed to be a very straightforward answer. And Ortega looked great. And he looked dog tough. And the entire theme of the evening was holding up when it's hard. That's what the Mexican fighters do. They dig deep and they have grit and they don't give up. Ortega went and did all of those things. And I got to give him that shine or I can't quite get you to understand what a great job Lopez did. And Lopez is also one of these athletes that is misunderstood in this regard. Lopez goes out in his last fight. And it's against Dan Ige. And there was some commentary, some critical commentary after the fact saying that Lopez fatigues. And that is simply not what happened. That is a misunderstanding of watching the sport. What did happen is Lopez, who was 145 pounds 48 hours before this fight, takes on a 165-pound athlete. And when you do push and pull with a bigger athlete, you do fatigue at a higher rate. And Lopez proved that tonight. Like, his output was incredible. But he also showed that he could reserve, he could extend, and he could do championship rounds. And it's very relevant. Like, Lopez is a special athlete. Generally, if you get a bunch of athletes together, I'll just give you this one example and I'll move on. But if you get a bunch of athletes together, whichever one of them can do the most pull-ups is not the one that's going to win a 10K foot race, and vice versa. Lopez just might do both, right? Like, he's a very strong guy that also has the cardio. I only know one other athlete like that, and it's Jordan Burroughs. Very rare. Special guy going to do special things. When I move on to Valentina and Grasso, this is the fight that nobody asked for. Okay, Grasso didn't ask for this fight. Valentina didn't ask for this fight. In fact, when they tried to book this fight, Valentina, who was the challenger, resisted the idea. So, but I just have to tell you that because now none of us can ask for it. This isn't a matter of being a hater. By the way, if you ever on a microphone tell the audience, who do you want to fight next? I don't care. If you don't care, neither can anybody else. It's not possible. This isn't me threatening you and or warning you. This is me alerting and telling you. It now is not possible that any of us can care after you make it known that you don't. So somebody decides to book this fight. Okay, it wasn't Grasso or her people, and it wasn't Valentina or her people. And frankly, they did the fight a year ago at the same event in the same weight class for the same title. It now got it was main event then. It's no longer main event. It got demoted down the card. So you get an outcome which is a rinse and repeat of the first round. And I've tried to explain this to you guys 100 times. If you go out and you are on your back, okay, you're not winning an ass whipping contest, no matter how much a guy that wants to take $195 a month automatic deposit from your parents' bank account tells you are. You cannot win a fight from your back, period. If you are on your back and you have somebody's arm, if you don't stretch their arm out and make them surrender like Hoist Gracie did, you never had their arm. You grab somebody's arm with both of yours. You put both of your, all 10 fingers are holding this person's wrist and or elbow. If you don't tap them, you don't have their arm. They have yours. If you are locked on with both hands to their arm and you don't tap them, you do not have their arm. Their one arm has both of yours, you dumb son of a bitch. And you did it for 25 straight minutes. And you didn't almost have an armbar rinse and repeat from your back. Valentina is now beating you. She knows the math is in her favor. She knows you look like a fool. And she also knows that you think you have an armbar. So she continues to give you the arm because she doesn't have to beat you anymore. She just has to run out the clock. And you helped her to do it. It's no wonder it got demoted down the card. Let's move on. You get into the main event. And any fight analysis you get, it doesn't matter who you're watching, and it doesn't matter if it's boxing or MMA. It doesn't matter if it's the best in the business, me, or somebody else trying to be like me. You're going to get a bunch of analogies. That's just the truth on the fight business. You go to fight practice, you're going to get a bunch of analogies. The one that I like to use, fighting is a dance and that only one person can lead at a time. And generally there will be an unwritten rule and you will pass that back and forth. Very evident in boxing. Generally, one guy will go out there, throw his combination about the head, chest, body, then he will cover up and let the other guy go. And they will trade this back and forth. It's like a basketball game. You come down the court, you get a shot, then we give it to the other team, they come down the court, they get a shot. We just keep doing this. Generally in MMA, it will be the same thing. But it was very clear Dishlavili was not making that contract tonight. He took charge. He never gave it back. And that was the game. Like if you believe that you saw Dishlavili overwhelm Sean, or you saw Sean get overwhelmed, well, you saw Sean lose the same position 5 times. That is what happened. It was a technique. And it's a great one. A double leg takedown is excellent. And you will see scrambling. You will see very good wrestling. It will go back and forth and there'll be a ton of technique. Or you can just take the guy off the ground. And this is one thing that a number of wrestlers, no matter how good, still haven't figured this out. You can get in there deep and you can then allow the other guy to scramble and push on your head and get his underhooks and be slippery and push you down the body, do all these other things. And maybe you get the takedown, maybe you don't. Maybe you push him in the fence and maybe you trip him. Maybe you come around the neck and you collar box. Or option 2, you lift him off the ground. Now, you can lift him all the way up like Matt Hughes used to do, but the truth is you don't need him 4 feet off the ground. You need him 1 inch. If he is off the ground, he's off the ground. The reason George St. Pierre's double legs never got stopped are the same reason that Merab's double legs didn't get stopped tonight. He took his opponent off the ground. There's now no way to stop him. And I'm only sharing that with you. It was a very good job by Merab. That was the one position O'Malley got beaten. Merab is going to draw in to Nurmagomedov. O'Malley is going to rebuild from here. We will wait to hear what Sean has to say. I had no problem with the fight. One position, new champion. Tough game. High stakes, fair fight, on to the next one.